Just guessing as far as why it did get moved, but that seems to us be why the reason. So why would they would move it back? And it's not a conference game, so it'd be a game that surely in May, sometime we could fit that one in because we got several more holes in May.
Yep, and maybe right around sectional time, as the Berries have done the last couple of years. Not have so many off days in between. The end of the regular season and the beginning of sectional play. So the Logansport Berries batting order: Will Bennett leads off. He's in right field. Batting second and doing the DH tonight for Logansport, Charlie O'Connor. Hitting third at second base, Mike Meadows. Batting fourth in center field, Jacob Cox. Batting fifth in left field, Drake McLaughlin. Batting sixth, the third baseman, is C.J. Hallam. Batting seventh at first base, Jackson Crowd. Hitting eighth, doing the catching, Gavin Smith. And batting ninth and on the mound is Jacob Cayley. And Tucker Platt back in the starting lineup defensively at shortstop. Still a little bit, that oblique's keeping him from getting a chance to hit. So we will step aside for a break. When we return, we'll have the first pitch of this North Central Conference game between Kokomo and Logansport. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
Berries Baseball on WSAL is presented by the Mike Anderson Auto Group with Mike Anderson GM on the east side of Logansport. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Get a Chevy at Mike Anderson with award-winning dependability year after year after year after year. This game is also sponsored by Logansport's Direct Maytag with American-made appliances and service you can depend on long after the sale. See Direct Maytag on East Market Street in Logansport. It's almost time for the first pitch of Berries Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
February is the month of love, and that means it's time for the Cass County Community Foundation's Give Your Heart Serenades. For a $100 contribution, our Valentine singers will deliver a live serenade to your loved one. Imagine the look on their faces when our merry band of troubadours arrives at their home or workplace and sings an unforgettable song just for them. Live serenades are perfect for spouses, friends, co-workers, employees, bosses, nursing home residents, and shut-ins, just about anyone. Call 722-2200 to place your order. Deadline is February 7th.
The Chamber of Commerce, along with Logansport Radio, congratulates this month's Member of the Month, Cass Plaza Apartments, located at 300 Cass Plaza Drive in Logansport. Stop by soon and see their recent renovation that has earned them this special recognition. We appreciate your hard work and investment in your business and in our community. Congratulations, Cass Plaza Apartments, this month's Member of the Month from all of us at the Cass County Chamber of Commerce and Logansport Radio.
Welcome back to Jim Turner Field. We are starting lineups, and the Star Spangled Banner have been introduced by public address announcer Greg Domick in the playing of our national anthem. So we are just about ready for baseball. Looking at the Berries' defense, a little bit different than what we saw last night. And based on what we saw last night, this may not be the way it ends, as Logansport had several different defensive switches throughout the course of last night's game. Jackson Crowd is at first base. Mike Meadows at second. Tucker Platt at short. C.J. Hallam is at third base. Outfield left to right. Drake McLaughlin in left. Jacob Cox in center. Will Bennett in right. Gavin Smith, the freshman, with his first start of the season behind the plate. And Jacob Cayley on the mound for the Logansport Berries. And Ethan Denny's lost not only his abilities to behind the plate, but the way he was calling pitches. It seemed like him and Jacob Cayley were in a pretty good rhythm together on the mound. So that's another impediment for Logansport tonight, unfortunately. Yeah,
most of the pitchers we have on the staff really appreciate what Ethan can do back there. He's a pretty cerebral catcher that we have, but so is Gavin. He just lacks a little bit of experience, so he's going to get it.
Yep. So the top of the order, leading off the game, obviously, Michael Ewing, Peyton McLean, and Jason Armfield.
There's there's no player out there on defense for Logan tonight that's not been in the position that they're in tonight, at least once.
Right. So here's the first pitch of the game. Breaking pitch for a call at strike one. 0-1.
How much confidence Jacob had in that curveball. We saw that down at Avon Saturday afternoon.
0-1 on the right fielder for Kokomo. Michael Ewing, fastball misses down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. 5:33 was the first pitch. And 74 degrees game time temperature. That's right around what Chris Martin forecast was going to be the high today. Ground ball towards short. Tucker Platt is up with it. Throw across the diamond is in time. Good strong throw from Tucker at shortstop. One up and one away.
Well, that ball, you couldn't have rolled it any smoother or straighter than that ball went right up to Tucker.
And it had a good speed on it, too, so he didn't have to charge it too much.
Exactly.
Didn't have to hurry it because it was hit sharply enough.
It's like a batting practice, infield practice ground ball.
Now we'll bring to the plate center fielder Peyton McLean. Slightly built Peyton McLean, but he packs the wall up in that small frame. He hurt the Bears last night at the plate. It was a breaking pitch for a called strike one on the inside corner.
And
nothing in one.
Ducking out of that batter's box, and boy, that thing broke right over.
Yep, McLean went 2 for 4 last night for the Wildcats in that number 2 hole. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. Backhand stop by Tucker Platt. Throw is in time to get the speedy McLean by a step.
Wow.
Couple of ground outs to Tucker Platt to start things off. 2 up and 2 away.
Almost identical. The only difference was he had a left-handed batter, so Tucker didn't really have any time to waste that time. He just came up with a clean and threw another perfect strike.
So that will leave it up to catcher Jaden Armfield. As Jacob Cayley has retired the first 2 batters here tonight. First pitch on the way. It's a breaking pitch.
Did I just miss these gold shoes last night, or do you remember seeing them?
I do not remember seeing the gold shoes.
I did not. I don't think we had a pretty good view last
we did.
night. Wow.
I think we'd have noticed those gold shoes, especially in the bright sunshine that we had at Municipal Stadium last night. Ground ball to shortstop. Wow. 1 hop on the way to Tucker Platt. Throw to first is in time. 3 ground balls to Tucker Platt and 3 outs for Kokomo on the side is retired. Nothing across for the Wildcats. We go to the last half of the first inning. It is Kokomo nothing. Logansport coming to bat. This is Barry's Baseball on WSAL.
Barry's Baseball on WSAL is presented by Tyson Fresh Meats. With over 2,000 employees operating from their Logansport facility, processing pork and poultry to feed millions of people around the world. Buy the Tyson brand at your local grocery store. This game is also sponsored by Security Federal Savings Bank, serving the community since 1934. Security Federal is here for you. Security Federal, courtesy, safety, flexibility, member FDIC. We thank you for listening to Barry's Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Welcome back to Jim Turner Field. Kokomo hit 3 ground balls to Tucker Platt. Tucker Platt fielded them cleanly, made strong throws, and they retired the side in order. And after last night's 7-0 loss, I think that gives a great start for the Bears to put Kokomo down in the top half of the first.
Yeah, Tucker picked up 1 error last night, only the second one of the season. So this will help bring that fielding average back up, make up for that.
And we'll see if maybe the Bears can draw first blood, as they were playing from behind virtually the entire time last night after giving up a run in the first and a couple in the second. They never could catch up, so we'll see if the Bears can draw first blood. And they'll face Riley Burnett, senior right-hander. A very compact delivery, arm motion, very unusual, so doesn't appear to throw overly hard. So
no, you're right. He just kind of pushes it from about that, doesn't reach back.
So we'll see what Logansport can do. Will Bennett will lead things off. He'll be followed by Charlie O'Connor and then Mike Meadows. You know, Mike can't wait to get back in the batter's box after his tough night last night at Municipal Stadium.
Toughest day he's had at the plate this whole season.
He went 0 for 3 last night with 3 strikeouts. You mentioned he'd struck out 3 times the entire season prior to last night. So,
well, I think this kid, just what we saw in warm-ups, we can hit this guy.
That was my impression.
No, we just got to go do it. Right?
Exactly. Easier said than done, obviously. So here's the first pitch from Burnett. Ground ball hit slowly towards second base. Big hop to the second baseman, who throws across the diamond in time for an out. Gavin Wallace got that nice hop. Will was aggressive in the batter's box, but you always like to see at least one pitch from
you're saying just what I'm thinking. Kind of that job, lead off is look him over just a little bit.
If nothing else, to give yourself a look, but give everyone on the bench a pitch or two to look at as well. Here's first pitch swinging is Charlie O'Connor and into center field for a base hit.
That's 2 straight games for Charlie with hits right up the middle. He had great hit up the middle last night.
Yep, he had one of the 2 Logansport hits last night, as you said, a ground ball, sharp ground ball right through the middle. So Coach Turner rewarded that good night last night, put him up in the second spot. And
well, maybe that's the MO tonight.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
Only seen 2 pitches so far.
Yeah, maybe that's the scouting report, Burnett. Maybe
Don't get behind.
throws one, tried to get ahead. First pitch swing is Mike Meadows, tailing curveball.
So now there's, I think, a good example of what maybe I can't argue with Mike City. He's done a nice job, but that pitch was meant to be hit out to the right side, and he can't. He just got to learn he can't pull every pitch.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, breaking pitch over but low. 1 ball, 1 strike. We saw him hit the other way. Was it West Lafayette? Hit a couple the other way.
Yes.
On last Friday night. So
he's perfectly capable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially with that first baseman holding the runner on. There's a nice gap in that right side of the infield. 1-1 pitch. Runner goes. Fastball is missing inside. Throw down to second base. It is in time. A strong throw. It was on the third base side of the bag, but O'Connor still was not able to get in safely. That's a big out for the Wildcats. Their second out of the inning. Now 2 outs with the bases empty. And Mike Meadows with a 2-ball and 1 strike count. And Burnett will go back to the windup. Pitch on the way. Here's a pitch fouled at the plate. Count even up now. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
This team this year might be better suited to a few more hit and runs instead of straight steals, because we just overall up and down that lineup, we just don't have that speed that we've been accustomed to over the last several years.
I've been credit Armfield with a good arm back there behind the plate to get him out. Here's a swing and a miss. Dropped by the catcher. He'll have to throw him out at first base, which he does. And the side is retired. No runs hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the second inning. It is Kokomo nothing, Logansport nothing. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
Berries Baseball on WSAL. Presented by the Mike Anderson Auto Group. With Mike Anderson, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in downtown Logansport. Ram 1500, the Motor Trend Truck of the Year. See how this truck is a real game changer. And take a test drive. This game is also sponsored by Logansport's Direct Maytag, featuring Whirlpool Appliances, the largest manufacturer of appliances in the world. American made, with service you can depend on long after the sale. See Direct Maytag on East Market Street in Logansport. Celebrating 70 years of service to Logansport. AM 1230 WSAL.
Welcome back to Jim Turner Field. 1 inning in the books. 1 hit so far in the game. Logansport had that hit. Charlie O'Connor, he 1-out single. Unfortunately, he was caught stealing. And Mike Meadows ended the inning with a strikeout. So Jacob Cayley back out for his second inning of work. He will face 4, 5, and 6 in the Kokomo batting order. Easton Dupay, Charez Butcher, and Gavin Wallace. Just a deflating feeling after Charlie O'Connor was caught stealing at second after that 1-out single. Ripped it up the middle. Logansport feeling good about themselves. Chance maybe to get an early run. And I like the aggressiveness by Coach Turner, but credit Kokomo with cutting down the base runner, Charlie O'Connor.
Let's see. Well, we do have, as a team, we do have 17 stolen bases this season. Doesn't even seem like that many, actually, but...
Here's a breaking pitch. Misses down and in to Easton Dupay, the Wildcat first baseman. Jacob Cayley retired the side in order in the top half of the first for the Berries. Here's the 1-0 pitch for a called strike in the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the Lady Berries are in action tonight up at Fincher Field. Across the way again, Eastern is coming to town. I believe that's a 6 o'clock start time. Here's a pitch, misses up high, 2 balls and a strike.
JV Ladies Berries are also playing tonight over at Tower Park. We probably won't get any reports from that one, unfortunately, but...
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Catches the outside corner for a called strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Actually, for that JV team, this is only their second game of the season.
Is that right?
Yeah, they've been snake bit by scheduling and weather, so...
Wow.
Yeah.
Here's a breaking pitch, high chopper at the plate. Foul ball. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lady Berries lost a tough one last night to Mechaniqua on the road against the Lady Braves. Logansport looking to bounce back tonight against the Eastern Comets. 2-2 pitch, curveball. Did miss by much. Just a little high. Good idea, good thought from Jacob Cayley. But he misses out of the zone up high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way from Cayley. Here's one in the air into right center field. It is tailing away from Jacob Cox, but he's got a beat on it, and he makes the play for the first out. of the Kokomo second inning. The designated hitter, Charez Butcher, who got an inning of work in last night after starting the game as the designated hitter for these Kokomo Wildcats. So a good start for Jacob Haley on the mound.
Yep.
Here's a pitch for a called strike.
He's got a lot of strike zone to work with.
Yes, he does.
Little.
No balls and a strike to Charez Butcher. Fastball for a called strike inside part of the plate at the letters. 0-2.
Uniforms Kokomo's got tonight kind of resemble the old Astros.
I was thinking that same thing.
A little bit.
Here's a pitch swung on and missed.
Wow, you took a heck of a cut.
It was in the dirt, but Gavin Smith is able to tag out Butcher. First strikeout of the night for Jacob Haley, and that will bring to the plate Gavin Wallace. Wallace, the second baseman tonight for the Kokomo Wildcats. Yep, instead of orange and red, it's red and blue in those Kokomo, like the Houston Astros uniforms of the 70s and early 80s.
Yeah.
Not sure where that pitch was. It was called a ball. It certainly looked like it caught the plate. And
one of those, he's got to be wondering himself. Jacob has.
here's a
There he
fastball,
goes.
called strike on the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Haley's been very sharp here in the early going for Logansport. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed.
Good inside
There was.
fastball.
Right in on the hands of Gavin Wallace.
Yeah.
A ball and 2 strikes. Haley gets the sign from Smith. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, and the side is retired. A couple strikeouts for Haley in the second inning. Nothing across for Kokomo. We go to the bottom half of the second. It is Kokomo nothing, Logansport nothing. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
Barry's Baseball on WSAL is presented by Tyson Fresh Meats. Tyson has become an iconic image in Logansport. As the largest employer in Cass County, Tyson Fresh Meats is also a working partner in the Midwest and Canada, with hog transports coming to Logansport every day from hundreds of miles away. Buy the Tyson brand at your local grocery store. This game is also sponsored by Security Federal Savings Bank. Join Security Federal for our annual Ownership Day on Friday, May 31st. The community is invited for lunch and fun. Look for more details. Security Federal, member FDIC. This is Barry's Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Jim Turner.
Guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find the love within. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in a daze from your love, you see. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Some people go around the world for love, and they never find what they dream of. What you won't do to do for love. You tried everything, but you don't give up. In my world, only you I would not do. My friends wonder what is wrong with me, but I'm in a day.
Jacob Cox draws the leadoff walk, so the Berries with their second base runner of the night. First time either side has their leadoff man on. Here's we're in the bottom half of the second inning, and Drake McLaughlin into the batter's box with Jacob Cox on at first. Nobody out. Here's a fastball corner for a called strike. 0-1. That had some giddy up on it.
That one did. That probably his fastest pitch he's thrown yet tonight.
I definitely think so.
Yeah.
But Drake McLaughlin in that number 5 spot. Here's a high pop fly down the
Could be
first base
trouble,
side.
Maybe.
And it's drifting into fair territory, and Wallace came a long way. But fortunately for the Wildcats, that ball was a mile for out number 1.
Kind of hoping that sun would be a bigger factor.
Right.
They played it real well.
They sure did. So that will bring C.J. Hallam to the plate. Hallam at third base tonight for the Berries. He did some catching last night, and I believe went to first base as well. So here's a fastball on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. 0-1 on C.J. Hallam.
Call, and we end up disagreeing, but with the umpire. But
here's the 1-2 pitch to Hallam. Breaking pitch, ground ball.
down.
Good stop by the third baseman. Throw to second for 1 to first, and a double play, and a nicely turned double play by the infield there for Kokomo. 5-4-3, and the Berries are retired. No runs, 1 hit or no hits. No errors, nobody left. We go to the third. It is Kokomo and Logansport in a scoreless tie. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
This is WSAL, and you're listening to Berries Baseball, presented by the Mike Anderson Auto Group. With Mike Anderson GM on the east side of Logansport, baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Get a Chevy Silverado at Mike Anderson, the strongest and most dependable Silverado ever. It's one heck of a truck. This game is also sponsored by Logansport's Direct Maytag. With American-made appliances and service you can depend on long after the sale. Remember, good service isn't expensive, it's priceless. See Direct Maytag on East Market Street in Logansport. We hope that you're enjoying this broadcast of Berries Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Welcome back to Jim Turner Field. 2 innings in the books. Logansport and Kokomo in a scoreless tie. The Berries have had a base runner in each of the first 2 innings, but they've not been able to do anything with it. O'Connor behind now, no balls and 1 strike. Kaylee gets the sign from Gavin Smith.
He's got some dramatics,
Yes,
this
he
guy
does.
behind the plate, doesn't he?
A little bit of Dutch Renard in him. So that is 3 consecutive strikeouts for Jacob Cayley. Jabrian Adams, the Wildcat left fielder. Senior in the starting lineup tonight. We saw him as a courtesy runner. And then I believe he came and pitched an inning out of the bullpen for the Wildcats. First pitch swinging for a strike to Adams, 0-1 on the senior right-handed hitter. As the wind continues to not be a major factor, but certainly comfortable for the fans here at the ballpark. Here's one off the end of the bat, foul back to the screen. And just like that, Jacob Cayley is out in front, no balls and 2 strikes. We are here in the top half of the third inning at Turner Field in a scoreless tie between Kokomo and Logansport. The Wildcats batting with the bases empty and 1 out. Jabrian Adams looking at a no ball and 2 strike count from Jacob Cayley. Pitch on the way. Here's a slow roller toward third base, and C.J. Helm waited for it to roll foul, and he knocked it down. And good thing is he was had a hard time fielding that one, handcuffed him. But
think anybody in the dugout was yelling out there?
I think so.
Get away! Get away! Although they don't have a great view from that dugout right down that line, but you can kind of tell by Mike's body, or not Mike, CJ's body language down there that he ended up making the right play. Get the heck out of the way and let that thing roll foul.
Oh, yeah, because they would have had no chance to throw Adams out as slow as that one's hit.
Right.
So the count remains 0-2 on Jabrian Adams. Here's a pitch, foul back to the screen. Adams hanging in there. That was a good pitcher's pitch that time, down in the zone. But Adams able to fight it off and stay alive.
I just did a real quick count. I'm not going to do this whole game, but so far Jacob's thrown 17 strikes and only 6 balls.
Wow. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Again, fouled back to the screen.
18 strikes.
That's 3 out of 4. That's not bad at all.
Not bad at all. He's doing his part in this early part of the ball game. We just got to get those bats rolling and take advantage. One runner looks big anymore.
Oh, yeah, sure does.
We've all of a sudden going from 10, 12 hits a game down to far and few between. But
here's one ripped into left center field. Just Drake McLaughlin over into the power alley to cut it off. But Jabrian Adams, quality at bat that time. He's in the hole 0-2, fouled off a couple of pitches, and was able to rip one for Kokomo's first hit, first base runner of the night for the Wildcats.
Once again, all that work from a batter when he takes those counts that far out, it usually goes advantage to the batter. And boy, he did a nice rip.
Sure did. So the number 9 hitter, Cooper Hansen, Kokomo's shortstop, to the plate with Adams on at first and 1 out. Pitch is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, Adams runs pretty well. We'll see if they test the freshman catcher, Gavin Smith, who has a cannon for an arm back there behind home plate. Here's a high pop fly into shallow center field. Jacob Cox, a long run, makes a fine running catch for out number 2. That ball hung up a little bit, but still, that was a long way to run for Jacob on a shallow fly ball, and he made a nice play.
And he hasn't played a whole lot there in center field. Most of his outfield experience this season's been in right. So you get a different angle.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you got to just make sure you judge it, make sure you know which way you're going before you start going.
And last year with Colton Rosie patrolling center field, Jacob primarily was a right fielder last year as well. So definitely unfamiliar territory, but he made a nice play. To the top of the order now come the Wildcats. Michael Ewing throw to first, and Adams had a big lead.
Ooh, he almost slid him. Yeah, keep tagging him, Jackson.
Yes, he had to make a serious dive to get back, as he had a big lead.
And he almost slid a cleat across the bag. And
sure did.
Gave us a.
So Ewing grounded out to Tucker Platt his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Runner goes. Fastball for a strike. Throw down to second base.
Pretty
and he's
good
going to be
shot. Look at that.
One hopping nice short hop there by Mike Meadows, who puts the tag on, but a great throw from Gavin Smith. And the side is retired. For Kokomo, no runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom half of the third. Kokomo and Logansport in a scoreless tie. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
Mary's Baseball on WSAL is presented by Tyson Fresh Meats. Tyson has invested millions of dollars into the Logansport facility, demonstrating its confidence in the workforce created in the Logansport region. Tyson Fresh Meats is proud to be operating in Cass County. Buy the Tyson brand at your local grocery store. This game is also sponsored by Security Federal Savings Bank. Security Federal gives back, contributing over $120,000 to charitable causes in the communities we serve. When you bank with us, you give back. Thank you. Security Federal, member FDIC. This is Berries Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Alongside Steve Clary, Joe Stats back at Jim Turner Field, and quite an end to that third inning.
Oh.
Great throw from Gavin Smith and Mike Meadows. It was not an in-between hop, it was a short hop, but still, you got to field that hop and you got to put the tag on. That was great at both ends.
Boom, boom, boom. I mean, that's a shot by Gavin. It was a little bit low, but it was perfectly placed. I mean, right down over the mound, right at the bag. It wasn't just like all you had to do was catch it and tag him because, like you said, it was a short hop. But great play by that rookie catcher.
Yep, and a sophomore second baseman who's had a few innings at second base this year.
Yeah.
So here's Jackson Crowd, first pitch swinging at a fastball, 0-1. And well, I tell you, this Burnett has really got the giddy up going after that first inning.
Yeah.
Like you said, maybe he wasn't totally loose because he's been throwing the ball.
Prejudged him there a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Here's a fastball. Did not miss by much.
Now, it doesn't look like that fastball's got a lot of movement on it. I don't think this is a kid that we can't hit at all.
Right. But more velocity than what we saw starting out. Here's a breaking pitch hit sharply.
Hit sharp.
Too short. Big hop over there by Hansen. Throw to first is in time for an out. Jackson Crowd continues to have some tough luck at the plate. He's hit the ball hard several times this year with not much to show for it.
Yep. And he's not, well, at least here recently, that's encouraging.
Sure. So the catcher, freshman Gavin Smith, in for his first at bat of the night, batting with the bases empty and one out here in the last half of the third in a scoreless tie. Pitching away from Burnett, swung on and missed. May have taken something off that fastball. Gavin out just in front of it a little bit. 0-1 on the Berries catcher. Burnett gets the sign. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Good location that time. Again, down and away from Gavin Smith. Chokes up a little bit on the bat to guard against the strikeout. 0-2. On the Berries catcher, Burnett gets the sign. Pitch on the way, fastball. Did miss by much, and the umpire gave some body language like he was ready to put that right arm in the air, but
He did a nice job of holding up and not calling that a strike, but
because it looked a couple inches off the plate.
I think he's showing that he's going to go on that outside part. Gavin needs to be stepping into it.
Here's a pitch, high pop fly on the left side of the infield. Looks like it may drift into foul territory. Now drifts back into fair territory, and a quite a play by the catcher, by the third baseman Nolan Hansen. He had a long way to go. I'm not sure why that left fielder didn't come and get that one. Looks like they had. Box against Burnett. Here's a fastball, misses up high. 1 ball, no strikes. Jacob loves to hit that first pitch.
Jacob still close 400, right underneath 391.
Fouls this one down the right field side, out of play. Count even up now at a ball and a strike. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for each side here in the early stages, last half of the third. And a scoreless tie here, North Central Conference action. Here's one fouled back to the screen by Cayley. 1 ball and 2 strikes. These two teams will return to action, the Berries will return to action tomorrow, weather permitting, against Peru. 5 o'clock start time here from Turner Field.
Ooh,
Good breaking pitch, and
boy.
Jacob Cayley was looking for something, was looking for a fastball, and that curveball dropped right in over the plate. Kokomo Logansport, nothing. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
Presented by the Mike Anderson Auto Group. With Mike Anderson GM on the east side of Logansport. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Get a Chevy at Mike Anderson with award-winning dependability year after year after year after year. This game is also sponsored by Logansport's Direct Maytag with American-made appliances and service you can depend on long after the sale. See Direct Maytag on East Market Street in Logansport. Now, more Berries Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Welcome back to Turner Field. 3 innings in the books. No score, no runs, 1 hit, no errors for each side, as Steve Clary pointed out in the intermission. 30 minutes. We got 3 innings. That's extremely fast.
It's like softball fast.
That sure is. And credit both pitchers throwing lots of strikes and not wasting a lot of pitches in between, or time in between pitches on the mound.
Right. No 18, 20 seconds between pitches.
That was, wow, that's still. Every time I see a kid on the mound, I think back to that. That was, wow. But that's in the distant memory, although he's, just a junior, so we might see that next year. But
never know.
So Michael Ewing will lead things off. He was in the batter's box in the top half of the 3rd inning when Gavin Smith threw out Jabrian Adams trying to steal second.
We've had a few base runners, but we've still only had the minimum number of batters on both teams.
On both sides, yep.
Yeah, both lead off top of the 4th inning with the top of the batting order.
Ewing faked a bunt, took a strike, 0-1. Right fielder Michael Ewing grounded out to short his first time up. Well, one pitch hit sharply toward right field and but too far away from him. Solid single leading things off for Michael Ewing.
Nice piece of hitting, and that's
sure
exactly what I keep talking about. That's what some of our guys just need to look to. He didn't try to pull that, just went right with that pitch. And especially in this field, you get it, sharply hit, it's gonna fly through the infield.
So the Wildcats, for the first time tonight, have their leadoff man aboard. Michael Ewing at first, following his first hit of the night, second of the night for the Wildcats, and Peyton McLean to the batter's box, guarding against the bunt, goes a little bit closer to the mound, so Jacob Haley's able to throw him out, not by much. McLean with some good speed down that first baseline, but Jacob Haley made a strong throw to get him, but McLean does his job, which is what you ask out of your number 2 hitter, to move that leadoff man aboard, along which he did.
Real nice job.
Sure was. It looked like it took a hop there on the
little weird
field
hop,
turf,
didn't it? Yeah.
because it started out going toward third base.
Good thing Jacob went down there with 2 hands.
But that hop carried him a little bit closer to Jacob Haley, made it an easier play, I think, for the Berries. There's a high fly ball into pretty deep right field. Will Bennett, though, has a beat on it. He'll make the catch. Michael Ewing tagging from third base, and he will be in. So the Wildcats have advanced their leadoff hitter Ewing to third base on a sacrifice bunt and a fly out to right field. 2 outs. And they'll leave it up to the cleanup hitter for Kokomo, Easton Dupay. Dupay flew out to center field his first time up. He's 0 for 1. But Kokomo with the go-ahead run, 90 feet away here in this scoreless tie in the top half of the 4th inning. Haley from the stretch.
Oh,
Pitch
no.
gets away from Gavin Smith. And scoring is Michael Ewing. That one was tailing away from Gavin Smith. Not an easy play, but I'm not sure if it bounced before getting to Gavin Smith.
I think Gavin will tell you he should have had that.
Yep. So a pass ball to Gavin Smith. Now that had some movement on it. It was tailing away from him. But like I said, I'm sure Gavin would say he should have had that one. Here's a called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Kokomo playing some small ball here in this 4th inning. Manufacturer run, a sacrifice bunt, and a fly out, following a leadoff single, and a pass ball. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Mike Meadows, a diving stop.
Maybe.
Throw to first is going to be in time.
Yes!
What a play by Meadows, and good scoop over there at first base by Jackson Crowd to get Dupay by half a step. Kokomo, though, does get a run on a hit. No errors, nobody left. We go to the last half of the 4th. Kokomo 1, Logansport nothing. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
Mary's Baseball on WSAL is presented by Tyson Fresh Meats. With over 2,000 employees operating from their Logansport facility, processing pork and poultry to feed millions of people around the world. Buy the Tyson brand at your local grocery store. This game is also sponsored by Security Federal Savings Bank. When you invest in Security Federal, you've invested in the community you live in. Remember, we go better together. Security Federal, member FDIC. Let's go back to the ballpark for Berries Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Alongside Steve Clary. Joe Stats back at Jim Turner Field. Kokomo did score a run, but boy, what a play by Mike Meadows over there at second base, and a good scoop from Jackson Crowd to end that inning.
When I saw him have to try to get up off his knees to make that throw, I thought he's not going to have time. because he was right behind the bag.
Oh, yeah.
Going out that direction, and boy, just shows the strength of his arm and his concentration out there to go get that ball before it got under his glove and reached center field.
And diving stop, I didn't think he had a chance to make that play, but boy, what a play and a strong throw. But Kokomo did get a run, so they take a 1-0 lead. So the Bears trying to get that run back. Have the top of the order up here in the 4th inning. Will Bennett takes a look at a fastball, strike one. Will, first pitch swing, his first time up, grounded out to the second baseman. Took a look at a letter high fastball, 0-1 on Will. Burnett taking a lot of time in between pitches.
They're just disagreeing on signs, evidently.
It looked like Armfield was looking over to the plate, or to the dugout, I should say. Yep, so the Kokomo coaching staff calling the pitches. They got something they wanted to throw on this pitch. Here's a slow roller toward first base, fielded cleanly by Dupé. Out number 1 here for the Berries in the 4th. Charlie O'Connor steps in. He has the only Berry hit of the night. A solid single up the middle his first time up. Kokomo 1, Logansport nothing. The Berries batting here with the bases empty, 1 out in the bottom half of the 4th inning. As the sun has disappeared a little bit behind some clouds here at Turner Field. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And Burnett's really pitching a fine game for the Wildcats so far tonight.
Seems like the last 2 or 3, 4 games, whatever, Charlie's been taking some better swings.
Here's a slow roller off the end of the bat, fielded by Dupé at first base, and he will step on the bag to retire O'Connor. So a couple ground balls to the first baseman. 2 Berry outs here in the 4th inning. That will leave it up to Mike Meadows. Mike struck out his first time up. We see some activity down in the Kokomo bullpen. But as well as Burnett's throwing, this could be just a warm-up session in between starts for one of those pitchers down there. Here's a breaking pitch over but low. 1 ball, no strikes. So Meadows did not put the ball in play last night. Struck out all 3 times he faced Kokomo pitching, and he struck out his first time up. So, he'd love to.
He's in a little bit of a funk right now.
Yeah, first slump really that he's been in all season long. He's hit the ball very well for Logansport in the early stages of this season. There's a high pop fly, towering at the plate. Armfield looks like he's in the room. Look out for the mask. He avoids the mask, but makes a fine catch. And the side is retired. Another towering pop fly by the Berries, but Kokomo has been able to catch every one of them. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. For Logansport, we're through 4 innings. It's Kokomo 1, Logansport nothing. This is Berries baseball on WSAL.
This is Berries Baseball on WSAL, presented by the Mike Anderson Auto Group, with Mike Anderson Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in downtown Logansport. Jeep, the most awarded SUV brand ever, picked up another accolade for 2019 with the new Jeep Wrangler, the 2019 Motor Trend SUV of the Year. Driving is so much fun in a Jeep. From Mike Anderson. This game is also sponsored by Logansport's Direct Maytag, featuring Whirlpool Appliances, the largest manufacturer of appliances in the world. American made, with service you can depend on long after the sale. See Direct Maytag on East Market Street in Logansport, celebrating 70 years of service to Logansport. AM 1230, WSAL Logansport.
Welcome back to Turner Field. 4 innings are in the books as the Kokomo Wildcats have a 1-0 lead over the Berries. And batting in the top half of the 5th inning for Kokomo, 5, 6, and 7. Charez Butcher, Gavin Wallace, and Nolan Hansen to face Jacob Cayley. Just 3 hits total through the first 4 innings. Both pitchers doing their job.
Yeah, shape it up to be a real pitcher's duel. So you just got to make sure you don't give up anymore, and we just got to get some bats rolling. We start out this season hitting the ball real well.
Real well, yeah.
And they've just died the last 2-3 games.
And 1 run against Avon in the first game of the doubleheader.
Yeah.
2 runs in the second game. No runs last night in that shutout loss. So 3 runs in the last 3+ games for this Logansport offense. There's a swing and a miss. Cayley took something off that fastball. Butcher out in front of it. A ball and a strike, and that was a good location as well down in the zone. So Cayley's been very, very sharp for the Berries so far tonight. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball tailing away. 2 balls and a strike. Butcher, a strikeout victim, his first time up. 0 for 1. We did see him on the mound last night. Wonder if he'll be called upon tonight. His fastball on the inside corner for a called strike. Good pitch that time. Butcher tried to duck out of the way a little bit to try and sell that one, but that was well located on the inside corner. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Cayley. Just missed away. Looked like it was just a little bit away. Not by much. And the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on the Wildcats' designated hitter, Charez Butcher. There's a fastball right off the instep, and boy, that hurts. And he's got the
he's got it protected,
but boy, and I can see why he's got it, because
he might not have hit that guard that he's got on that left ankle. But
might have been off the shoe.
But either way, like you say, it was hit pretty good.
It was.
Shook him up a little.
So the count remains full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the payoff pitch to Butcher for a called strike 3 on the inside corner at the knees. Butcher tried to sell it, but I think it was a good pitch that time from Cayley. Good call by the umpire. 4th strikeout of the night for Cayley. That will bring up Gavin Wallace. Wallace struck out his first time up, right in on top of the plate on the inside part of that batter's box to face Jacob Cayley. Here's a pitch, ground ball towards second base. Big hop for Mike Meadows. He's up with it cleanly. Throw to first in time for out number 2. And that will leave it up to Nolan Hansen. Hansen struck out his first time up 0 for 1. As an infield, you can't ask for a better play than that. A nice easy hop right to you. You're able to charge a little bit, get your momentum in front of you. And an easy throw over to first base. First 2 men for Kokomo retired here in the 5th. Pitch on the way, ground ball to short. In between hop field, and nicely though by Tucker Platt. Throw to first is in time, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left for Kokomo. We go to the home half of the 5th. Kokomo 1, Logansport nothing. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
You're listening to Barry's Baseball on WSAL, presented by Tyson Fresh Meats. Tyson has become an iconic image in Logansport. As the largest employer in Cass County, Tyson Fresh Meats is also a working partner in the Midwest and Canada, with hog transports coming to Logansport every day from hundreds of miles away. Buy the Tyson brand at your local grocery store. This game is also sponsored by Security Federal Savings Bank. Don't let your credit hold you back. With Security Federal's Credit Builder, you can start building your credit up today. Terms apply. Security Federal. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. This is Barry's Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Alongside Steve Clary, Joe Stats, back at Jim Turner Field. We have moved quickly through this game into the bottom half of the 5th already. Logansport 4, 5, and 6. Jacob Cox, Drake McLaughlin, and C.J. Hallam to face Riley Burnett. He has faced the minimum number of batters through 4 innings, 12 men so far. Charlie O'Connor got on board with a single in the first. He was thrown out stealing. Jacob Cox walked in the second. He was erased on a double play, and then a couple of 1, 2, 3 innings for Burnett in the 3rd and the 4th. And so here's Jacob Cox, one of 2 Logansport base runners tonight to lead things off. Kokomo on top 1-0 here in the last half of the 5th. Burnett gets the sign, fastball, catches the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1 on center fielder Jacob Cox. Barry's in action, weather permitting, tomorrow here at Turner Field against Peru, 5 p.m. first pitch. Pitch in the turf. 1 ball, 1 strike. And then a doubleheader Saturday at Benton Central. The schedule that came out at the start of the season listed that as a 12:30 start time. It's been changed to 11 a.m. from Benton Central on Saturday. Here's a pop fly foul down the first base side, out of play. And Jacobs in the hole now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's a couple of the Logansport youth players. I guess that one had the short straws. He had to go after and chase it. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way to Jacob Cox. Breaking pitch misses just high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good idea that time from Burnett. So I think Jacob was looking for a fastball. But fortunately for the Berries, it went out of the zone up high. Count even up now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses away. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, with the lack of scoring and hitting, it kind of makes you feel like you're at a soccer game, not a baseball game.
Here's the 3-2 pitch to Jacob Cox. Fastball misses low.
Well, it was down low.
Yep.
Yeah.
It looked low, but he wasn't sure. Maybe the umpire was late in making that call. So Jacob took a long look back to the home plate umpire. But he's on base for the second consecutive time via base on balls.
Had to get permission. Go down to first.
And that will bring Drake McLaughlin to the plate. Drake, a towering pop fly to the second baseman his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Nice size lead over there at first for Cox.
Oh, good bunt.
McLaughlin puts the bunt down and perfectly. Fielded by Butcher, and there's
Nobody
no one
there.
covering first base. And
Oh, he throws it away.
Goes into right field.
Wow.
They got Jacob Cox has a chance to score.
Nope.
They're going to hold him up. I think that's a good move by Coach
yeah.
Turner.
Oh,
as
yeah.
that was a dart thrown in by the right fielder.
Oh, yeah, that was a dart. But, boy, what a break we caught there.
So mental mistake that time from the Wildcats is nobody was covering first, and then Burnett, I don't know why he threw it because he had no chance.
No, and I'm not sure why
To
the
get
first
McLaughlin out.
baseman wasn't hanging around and covering the back, because you take 2 steps into it, that's not my ball.
Right.
It wasn't even close to his side of the infield. So,
And I'm sure that's
and then, not only that, then the second baseman failed to get around to take that throw.
Yep.
So they kind of lost concentration on that bunt play.
So
I don't know whether they're just not expecting that bunt, which situation kind of called for it.
Right, especially with Logansport struggling to get base runners in these 2 games against Kokomo so far.
So the error should have been on either first or second, or but I guess we got to give it on the throw.
Yep.
So.
But yeah, as a second baseman, when you see that bunt, you automatically go to first base. If the first baseman is able to play, then you get out of the way. But so he was not sure what he was thinking. And then, but Burnett,
Burnett, what he was thinking, I'm going to do it again.
But Burnett compounded things by throwing the ball when McLaughlin runs pretty well, and especially when he had to wait for the second baseman to get to the bag. He had no chance to throw McLaughlin out. So that throwing error allowed the Berries to take an extra base. Cox at third, McLaughlin at second. And here's C.J. Allen and the Wildcats with the infield in. So that shows you what they think of what Jacob Cayley's doing on the mound.
Oh.
Here's a pitch, misses inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Why are we so bashful about
Right.
getting plunked?
And CJ, he's lived to tell. He got hit pretty good the other night against.
That's probably why he doesn't want to get plunked.
But the infield is drawn in here for the Wildcats. Hallam, here's the
get
shot.
over there, yes.
It's through into right center field for a base hit. McLaughlin had to hold up to make sure it was through. Coach Turner will have to hold him.
Yeah.
But an RBI single as Hallam hit it on the nose. And we have a 1-1 tie. First and third with nobody out as Hallam scorched that one.
Well, been a while since CJ had really come through with a good timely hit. And first part of the season, he's doing it all over the place, it seemed like. He's got, what's he got? He had 6. Well, that'd be 7th RBI this season.
So Coach Turner, I think, is going to get a pinch runner in for C.J. Hallam, which he is.
Is that Booster?
Parmeter? Is that
Well,
Cam?
we don't have that.
Cam Parmeter.
Okay.
So getting some speed on the base paths. Now the Wildcat infield, at least in the middle infielders, looks like they're in double play depth. They may. So Cal Parmeter. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Well, I said it wrong, and I was waiting for you to correct me. But
well, I don't know.
So
it sounded good to me today.
Okay. So Cal Parmeter is at first base. Drake McLaughlin at third, and a called strike on the outer part of the plate down to the knees. Good fastball that time.
It would help if we had his name on the roster here.
Yeah, we're still trying to. It'd be nice to have a JV roster at least.
We got to get one.
We keep saying that.
Yeah.
I'm sure by the middle of May we'll remember it. Here's a good breaking pitch. Not much Jackson could have done with that when he was full, but that was great location. And it's 0-2 on the Berries. First baseman Jackson Crowd. First and third for the Berries here in the home half of the fifth. We are tied at 1. They have men on the corners with nobody out. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Here's the soft fly ball into shallow left field, and it's going to fall in for a base hit. McLaughlin will score the second run of the inning for the Berries.
Well, he just got repaid for all the shots he's hit and outs. And he just threw his bat out there, a little, not a check swing, but about a half a swing, and just looped it out over that third baseman's head, falling into the short left field.
Yep, that's why I never feel bad when a Texas leaguer falls in, because for all of those, there's at least 1 or 2 that you hit on the nose, and Jackson hit the ball pretty hard his first time up, but was retired on a sharp ground ball to the shortstop. So now we have a pinch hitter for Gavin Smith, Ramey Fooster into the batter's box. First and second, nobody out. 2 runs in for the Berries here in the bottom half of the fifth inning to take a 2-1 lead. So after struggling all night long to score runs and all night last night to score runs
You know,
at Municipal Stadium.
I was thinking that it's kind of early maybe to bring him in, but it's not early. I mean, here we are. It's moving along so fast. We're in the fifth inning here, so we've seen Fooster just get in and just start swinging.
So we'll see what he has to offer. Pinch hitting for Gavin Smith. Takes a look at one in the turf, gets away and throw down to third base, and he is going to be out. Power meters didn't get a real good jump on that one, and Armfield has an absolute rocket arm back behind the plate.
When you take off on your own, you need to make sure you can make it.
Yep.
As runs are hard to come by.
So Jackson Crowd remains at first base. No, so instead of first and second, no, it's now runner at first and one out. Here's Ramey Fooster, takes a look at a ball outside, 2 balls and no strikes. So Fooster, this is as many pitches as he's seen all season. In his 2 previous at-bats, he swung at the first pitch each time, so he's only seen 2 pitches prior to tonight. He's already looked at 2 here on this at-bat. He's ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch on the way, fastball misses up high. 3 balls and no strikes.
It's ironic. We put our pitch runner in there for some speed, a little speed there for CJ, and now we don't have the speed. Now we don't have enough guys to keep having runners.
Yeah, once Parmeter saw it get away from the catcher, he thought he could get down there, but it didn't go as far away as he was hoping.
He didn't, and he just didn't get that break immediately that you need with your momentum going towards third.
3-0 pitch to Fooster, and it hits him right on the left upper arm. So first and second again for the Berries, now with 1 out. And here's Jacob Cayley with a chance to help himself, and I think that will be it for Burnett, as we do have a trip to the mound. So Burnett was sailing right along through 4 innings, and that leadoff walk came back to haunt him this time, as Jacob Cox drew the leadoff walk and scored. And he didn't help himself either with a throwing error on a mental mistake by the infield of Kokomo not covering the bag. On a bunt. So it's as we've talked so many times, it's the little things, and Kokomo did not do the little things here in this half inning, and it has cost them dearly. Yeah,
that throw from the pitcher when he threw it right over the bag, but unfortunately nobody from the Kokomo defense was on the bag, and it just they do teach it well. They teach it behind the plate. You throw down to second on a steal whether there's somebody there or not, but that wasn't the time to do that.
No.
That's when you eat the ball. Cut your losses. But we'll take it.
Oh, yeah.
We need every break we can get.
So it'll be Trey Heiser, junior right-hander. That's long legs, long arms. So Jacob Cayley with a chance to add to this Logansport lead.
Could have been worse. I mean, it could be.
Bases loaded.
Should be, yeah.
Bases loaded, no outs. Boy, what a difference that would make. So now we're going to get a pinch runner in for Jackson Crowd at second base. That's Garrett Barron.
Okay.
Will be the base runner at second base. So Barron will be at second. Ramey Fooster at first. So Ramey Fooster continues to shine in his limited opportunities here for the Berries. Three trips to the plate this year. He's been on base twice with a single and a walk, and he crushed one to deep left field against Avon, the only time he's been retired so far in his limited at bats. But the more we see of Ramey Fooster, the more we like him. That's makes things happen for this Logansport offense.
I think I don't know how long. I don't want to make any predictions, but I think not too distant future, we're going to see some more of Ramey out there.
I think so. So some pretty good speed on the base paths for the Berries, with Barron at second and Fooster at first, and Trey Heiser, who has completed his warm-up tosses, and Jacob Cayley into the batter's box. And we have a score from Fincher Field. The Lady Berries on top of Eastern 2-1 in the bottom half of the second inning. That was a later start over at Fincher Field, a 6 o'clock start time. So thank you to our Lady Berry correspondent Amanda Howard for passing on that score to us. Logansport on top 2-1 there. Here the Berries lead Kokomo 2-1. First and second, 1 out. Jacob Cayley in to face relief pitcher Trey Heiser, facing his first hitter on in relief. Here's a ground ball, sharp ball, line drive to the second baseman. It is caught, and a throw to first, and it is in time. And the side is retired. There's a sinking line drive caught by the second baseman, Wallace, and the side is retired. The Berries do get a couple of runs on a couple of hits and leave one. We go to the 6th. Logansport 2, Kokomo 1. This is Berries baseball on WSAL.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to Barry's Baseball on WSAL, presented by the Mike Anderson Auto Group, with Mike Anderson GM on the east side of Logansport. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Mike Anderson has one of the most iconic cars ever made in America, the Chevy Corvette. Corvette allows you to become one with the road. Get your Corvette at Mike Anderson. This game is also sponsored by Logansport's Direct Maytag, with American-made appliances and service you can depend on long after the sale. Remember, good service isn't expensive, it's priceless. See Direct Maytag on East Market Street in Logansport. We hope that you're enjoying this broadcast of Barry's Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Welcome back to Jim Turner Field. We have reached the 6th inning. Logansport leading 2-1. They scored a couple of runs in that bottom half of the 5th inning, but they had a double play and a man thrown out trying to take an extra base on a ball that got away from the catcher. So could have been more for the Berries, but they'll take it after struggling to score runs here so far against Kokomo this week.
2 runs looks big.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we could say all we want. The what if, and then everything we did wrong was on the base pass there. But things turn around, and the game is short. It's down to a 2-inning game now.
Yep. We've already moved to the top half of the 6th inning. The Wildcats send 8, 9, and 1 to the plate. Jabrian Adams, Cooper Hansen, and Michael Ewing to face Jacob Cayley in his 6th inning of work. Tailing fastball outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Maybe the third time he's led off. Oh, no, I'm on the wrong side.
So 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error for Kokomo. No, 2 runs, 3 hits for Logansport. Here's a fastball. Catches the inside corner for a called strike. Adams took a long walk.
Yeah.
Long look at the umpire. I think that might have been
He got
a little inside.
break for pitching such a great game so far. He's been around the plate.
Here's 1-1 pitch, hit sharply down the first base side. It is underneath the glove of Jackson Crowd, and extra bases for Adams, who runs pretty well. He will lead off a leadoff double. So Adams on for the second time tonight. He is now 2 for 2. And that ball was a shot down the first base side.
Just inside the bag.
Crowd with a diving effort, but that ball was placed perfectly. So Adams, a single in the third, a double in the 6th. So he's 2 for 2. And Cooper Hansen, shortstop, and C.J. Hellman on the edge of the grass looking for the bunt, with the Wildcats down a run here in the 6th inning. Jackson Crowd in close at first base as well. Hansen swinging away, swinging a miss. May have swung one out of the zone. No balls and a strike. Wildcats trailing 2-1 here in the top half of the 6th inning. Cayley from the stretch. Gavin Smith setting up on the inside part of the plate. Here's one hit toward third base. Gets underneath the glove of C.J. Hallam. So back-to-back hits for the Wildcats. Adams moves to third. Hansen with a single. So first and third, nobody out. And Michael Ewing singled and scored Kokomo's only run his last time up. Grounded out to the shortstop. That was, as we mentioned, Gavin was trying to set up inside. Looked like Jacob got a little bit more of the plate than he wanted on that one. As that ball missed toward the middle. And Hansen made no mistake with a solid single. First and third, nobody out for Logansport. Kokomo with a tying run, 90 feet away at third base. Here's the pitch Ewing swung on and missed. Cayley took a little something off that fastball. Ewing was out in front of it. 0-1. To the right fielder, Michael Ewing. First and third, nobody out for Kokomo. Logansport on top, 2-1 here in the top half of the 6th inning. Here's a pitch, ground ball hit sharply toward short, backhand stop by Tucker Platt, but he cannot field it cleanly. Everybody's safe, and the tying run crosses the plate in Adams. That ball, a couple of seeing eye hits this inning for the Kokomo Wildcats, just underneath the glove of Hallam and Ewing and Crowd.
Yeah, just barely out of the reach of Crowd down that first base line, and one I thought maybe CJ could come up with, just couldn't find his glove, and now that one is again heading for the hole.
So 3 straight hits for the Wildcats. We are tied at 2. And now scoring a bunt as McClaney pushes on down the third base side. That is an excellent bunt. They're going to have a hard time getting him out, and they won't, as he has great speed down the first base line. That was a perfectly executed bunt. I'm not so sure he wasn't bunting for a base hit, not just a sacrifice.
Well, it was perfect.
It sure was. That's the second time that he has laid one down. And now the bases are loaded with nobody out.
Boy, this tough inning for Jacob out there to mount. He hasn't done all that much wrong, and everything's been hit on the ground and within reach, but just out of our reach.
But yeah, Peyton McLean, we were impressed with his skills at the plate last night against me, and boy, he handles the bat very well.
That bat real well there.
Which is what you love to have as in your number 2 hitter.
I'm sure that's not the first bunt hit he's had this season.
No. So that will bring to the plate catcher Jaden Armfield. He's 0 for 2, grounded out to shortstop back in the first inning, flew out to right field in the fourth. He's 0 for 2. But Jacob Cayley was sailing right along, but 4 consecutive hits have a run in, and the base is loaded with nobody out. Berries bring their infield in. The go-ahead run is at third base for the Wildcats. Here's a break pitch for a called strike. Good pitch that time from Jacob Cayley. So a run and 4 hits for Kokomo here so far in this top half of the 6th inning to tie things up at 2. Cayley will pitch from the stretch with the bases loaded. Here's the curveball, misses away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
So boy, how good would a one hopper back to Jacob look right now?
Oh, yeah. Potential double play. The catcher usually doesn't run terribly well. Here's a ground ball toward third. Hallam is up with it cleanly. The throw is home in time. They get 1 out. Throw back to first.
Yes!
And a double play. What a turn by Gavin
arm.
Smith.
Don't go away, Gavin.
Yep, Gavin, that was great, and could have counted for more. Should count for more than 2 outs, but it'll only count for 2. What a play!
He was so excited he wanted to head off the field. I didn't think we had a prayer to get the second man. CJ threw it on target to the plate. It wasn't a real bullet because you want to make sure you got it on target to get that lead, man.
Absolutely. So 5-2-3 for that double play. Here's a one pass ball gets away from Gavin Smith, and Ewing will score. I think that was a wild pitch. That was really tough. And moving on to third is McLean. Ewing scores the go-ahead run. Well, on a wild pitch. And Cayley trying to get a little extra on that breaking pitch, but that just ate up Gavin Smith. But that was a tough chance for the freshman catcher. 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball misses up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Easton Dupé flew out to the center fielder back in the second, grounded out to second in the fourth. He's 0 for 2. McLean at third base, 2 outs. Kokomo with a couple runs across the plate here in the 6th to take a 3-2 lead. Here's one ripped into center field, a solid base hit. So an RBI single for Easton Dupé, and Kokomo's 3rd run of the inning crosses the plate, and they take a 4-2 lead. So Cayley had given up just 2 hits through the first 5 innings, but Kokomo's bats have woken up here in this 6th inning. 5 hits in the inning. Designated hitter Sherez Butcher. Butcher struck out swinging in the 2nd, struck out looking in the 5th. He's 0 for 2. And Dupé with a fairly good-sized lead over there at first base. Pitch on the way. First pitch swinging is Butcher. Fouls it back behind the screen. No balls and 1 strike. Looking ahead to the Berries' 6th inning, they do have the top of the order due up as they look to fight back after giving up the lead after scoring 2 runs in the home half of the 5th, only to see Kokomo come back with 3 here in the 6th. Wildcats now lead 4-2. Here's one gets away from the catcher Smith, but not far enough for the runner to advance. So Dupé will stay at first base. It's the sun just behind the clouds here at Turner Field. Still a spectacular night of weather this time of year. 0-2 pitch on the way to Butcher. Here's a high fly ball into right field. It is slicing away from Will Bennett. A long run for Bennett, and he cannot come up with it. It gets past him all the way to the fence. This is going to score 1. Butcher on his way to second. He'll round that on his way to third, and they're going to hold him up. And now they're going to, thought about it, but looking at that strong throw from Mike Meadows, good thing they held him up, but still a 3-base hit for Butcher. And the Wildcats now lead 5-2 with their 6th hit of this 6th inning. And you said it right off the bat, Steve, that's trouble as it was slicing away from Will Bennett. Will did all he could, but it got away from him. So 4 runs and 6 hits for Kokomo here in this 6th inning. Fastball misses up high and away. Ball 1 to Gavin Wallace. Wallace struck out back in the 2nd, grounded to second base in the fifth. He's 0 for 2.
So, yeah, okay, I got it. I think I missed a hit. They got 8 hits, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a fastball. Not sure where that was. It was a ball. It looked pretty good from here, but umpire must have ruled it down and in. 2 balls in, no strikes to Gavin Wallace. Here's a pitch, hit sharply, 1 hop to Torkaplet, goes off his glove, and everyone is going to be safe. Another run will cross the plate. And that was a tough play. I'm sure Tuck will tell you he should have had it, but that was
He was right. Yeah.
not an easy hop.
No. It was he really handcuffed him right at the belt.
So the Wildcats continue their offensive explosion here in this 6th inning with 5 runs across the plate. The 9th man to the plate in the inning will come up, Nolan Hansen. Or is he heading back to the dugout? Maybe they're going to be a pinch hitter for Hansen. And he's slamming the bat in disgust. He's not happy that coach is taking him out. So we'll see who the pinch hitter will be. I'm not sure. Somebody has to hit, don't they? Isn't that the way the game goes? There we go. It will be Corey Wells. Wells was the, I believe, left fielder last night for Kokomo. Yep, he got hit by a pitch and scored a run. So he, in 3 trips to the plate last night, grounded out to Mike Meadows twice at third base. But was hit by a pitch.
Boy, they're just saving up all of their bats all for this inning. We've held them at bay throughout the first 5. So we get some good bats right now.
Here's the pitch. Fastball misses outside. No balls and strikes. So 5 runs, 6 hits for Kokomo with 1 Barry error here in a disastrous 6th inning for Logansport after they had taken a 2-1 lead. Throw to first, diving back safely is Wallace. So Kokomo with 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. The Berries 2 runs, 3 hits. And here's a pitch fouled back above the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Let's see.
So Logansport feeling pretty good about themselves after finally breaking through against this Kokomo pitching staff in the bottom half of the 5th to take a 2-1 lead, the first lead they've had in this 2-game series. I want to see Kokomo wipe it out with 5 here in the top of the 6th. Pitch did miss by much. 2 balls and 1 strike. We do have Matt Fouts loosening up down in the Logansport bullpen.
That's not an error. I got 1. Okay.
Pitch on the way from Cayley. Here's an inside-out swing, but Jackson Crowd's going to have room to make the catch in foul territory, and the side is retired. But Kokomo, a huge inning, 5 runs, 6 hits. There was 1 Barry error. Kokomo leaves a man. We go to the bottom half of the 6th. Kokomo 6, Logansport 2. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
WSAL's coverage of Berries baseball presented by Tyson Fresh Meats. Tyson has invested millions of dollars into the Logansport facility, demonstrating its confidence in the workforce created in the Logansport region. Tyson Fresh Meats is proud to be operating in Cass County. Buy the Tyson brand at your local grocery store. This game is also sponsored by Security Federal Savings Bank. Don't forget, Security Federal offers trust services. Plan for who's important after you're gone. Talk to the trust department at Security Federal. Member FDIC. This is Berries Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Alongside Steve Clary, Joe Stats, back at Jim Turner Field. We have reached the bottom half of the 6th inning. It is Logansport trailing Kokomo 6-2. We do have a score from Fincher Field across the way. The Lady Berries on top of Eastern 2-1 through 3 complete innings. So special thanks to Amanda Howard for passing on that score. Here it is Kokomo on top of Logansport 6-2. The Berries got 2 runs in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Only to see Kokomo come back with 5 runs and 6 hits in the top half of the 6th inning as they sent 9 men to the plate off Jacob Cayley as Matt Fouts continues to loosen up down in that Berries bullpen. And boy, Jacob threw an awful lot of pitches in that 6th inning. Wonder maybe if they'll bring Fouts in to in relief after that rough sixth inning for Kaylee's. The Berries just a little bit snake bitten as well. A couple of seeing-eye hits in that inning as well. Here's a high chopper in front of the mound, fielded by Heiser. Throw to first is in time to retire Will Bennett for out number 1.
Well, yeah, we're going to have to be a little more patient. Just got to be patient, especially at the top of that order.
Yep. As Trey Heiser is in relief, he has thrown 2 pitches, and he has gotten 3 outs with those 2 pitches. A double play to end the 5th, and Will Bennett first pitch swinging on a ground ball back to the plate. So very efficient with his pitches so far for Heiser. That will bring Charlie O'Connor up to the plate. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Here's a fastball over but low. 1 ball, no strikes. O'Connor with 1 of 3 Logansport hits. Got that way back in the first inning. A solid single up the middle off the bat of Charlie O'Connor. 1-0 pitch from Heiser, fouled off the end of the bat near the Kokomo dugout. Karam's off the fence, almost onto the field of play. So Dupé has to go hunt it down over there at the first base spot for the Wildcats. See what Charlie O'Connor can do with this 1 ball, 1 strike pitch from Heiser, who will work out of the stretch even with nobody on base. Here's a high chopper in front of third base, charged by the third baseman, has trouble getting it out of his glove. Throw is in time, though, to make him out. Fine play over there by the first baseman, Easton Dupé.
It almost looked like he was running into a windfall or something, because it seemed like he lost speed running down that baseline.
Yep. But a good play by the first baseman, Dupé, as that was not an easy hop. That is out number 2 for the Berries here in the 6th inning.
Well, about the only way to save Jacob, I think, for the rest of the game is if we did some damage in this inning, and so far it's not happening.
Here's Mike Meadows. Here's one ripped into center field, and it's going to be extra bases over the head of the center fielder and a ground rule double for Mike Meadows. His first fair ball that he's hit in the 2 games against Kokomo. 4 strikeouts and a foul pop-up to the catcher his previous at-bat. So Mike made up for that with a bullet over center field.
He got every bit of that one.
Yep.
Straight away.
It looks like Joe Ness out there.
1 quick hop and right up over that fence.
And
unfortunately, there's 2 outs.
And they're putting Joe Ness to work out there, though. It looks like Joe out to retrieve that one, so that's good for her.
Yeah, he just sprinted out there.
He sure did. So Jacob Cox, who has walked each of his 2 trips to the plate, takes a look at a fastball in the outside corner, 0-1. Mike Meadows, I think, had his mind made up with Heiser and that fastball that he throws. His first fastball, I see that's good. I'm gonna turn on it, and he certainly did. There's a fastball, misses up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. So see if Jacob Cox can deliver a 2-out hit for the Berries. Down 4, 6-2 here in the last half of the 6th inning. Heiser from the stretch takes a look at Meadows. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses inside. 2-1. Jacob had to be alert to get out of the way of that one.
He's been getting a lot of pitches near his body recently.
A lot of room on the right side. Huge hold on that first baseline for Jacob Cox. Fastball misses down and away. 3 balls and a strike. Jacob Cox with the pair of walks, and now with a 3-1 count. Here's a pitch for a called strike, inside corner, letter high fastball. And Matt Fouts has concluded his bullpen session, so we'll see if he's going to be called upon to pitch the 7th inning. Here's the payoff pitch to Jacob Cox. Fastball misses inside, so for the 3rd consecutive time, Jacob Cox draws a base on balls. 1st and 2nd with 2 outs. That will bring up Drake McLaughlin to the plate. McLaughlin with a good sacrifice bunt last time. That was turned into a 2-base error after on the errant throw by the pitcher. As infielders failed to cover first base. We'll see what McLaughlin can do with 2 men on. Here's a foul tip right off the mask of Armfield. 0-1. On the Berries left fielder, Drake McLaughlin. He popped out to second his first time up, so he's 0 for 2, but he does have one of the 2 runs scored for Logansport. And Berries trailing 6-2 here in the bottom half of the 6th inning as the sun peeks through the clouds. Fastball over, but low. A ball and a strike. Coach Turner trying to cheer on Drake McLaughlin down in that third base coach's box. See if the Berries can mount a 2-out rally here against Trey Heiser. 1-1 pitch on the way. There's a high pop fly down the right field side out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Kokomo. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Berries. And Trey Heiser didn't like the feel of that new ball that he got, so he stepped off the mound to rub it in, see what he can do. Ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. High leg kick, pitch on the way, fouled at the plate. McLaughlin fooled by that one, but he was able to fight it off and stay alive. And the umpire asking for some baseballs. This is not as many foul balls as we had last night at Municipal Stadium. We had an inordinate number of foul balls last night. They were constantly running out of baseballs, those umpires were last night. He's got his supply replenished for the time being. McLaughlin back in the batter's box.
Come on, Drake.
Heiser from the stretch. 1-2 pitch on the way. Breaking pitch hit sharply into right field. In for a base hit. Meadows is going to be held up at third base. It's a good throw by Ewing out there.
Hit in the right spot. Hit the right spot, but just not hard enough to...
Yep, and down 4 runs, you're going to need an awful lot of base hits to get back in this game. You certainly don't want to run into an out.
Squander one like that,
And C.J. Helm hit the ball very hard last time, an RBI single, so he comes to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Meadows at third, Cox at second, McLaughlin at first. Heiser will now pitch from the windup. Here's a fastball for a called strike. 0-1. So that's unusual. Heiser was pitching from the stretch with nobody on base, and now with the bases loaded, he goes to the windup. So a little unusual strategy by Heiser. Here's a pitch down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike to C.J. Helm. He ripped a solid single up the middle last time up to drive in a run for Logansport. Heiser takes a look over at Meadows at third base. Now pitch on the way. Ground ball hit towards short. Fielded cleanly, though, by the shortstop. He'll step on the bag, and the side is retired. Logansport, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave 3. We go to the 7th. It's Kokomo 6, Logansport 2. This is Berries Baseball on WSAL.
Berries Baseball on WSAL is presented by the Mike Anderson Auto Group with Mike Anderson GM on the east side of Logansport. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Get a Chevy at Mike Anderson with award-winning dependability year after year after year after year. This game is also sponsored by Logansport's Direct Maytag. With American-made appliances and service you can depend on long after the sale. See Direct Maytag on East Market Street in Logansport. Now, more Berries Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Welcome back to Turner Field. In Logansport, we have reached the 7th inning. Here, game that's moved along pretty quickly. Kokomo on top 6-2, and Jacob Haley will return for his 7th inning of work. Matt Fouts, after pitching last night and warming up tonight, he's ready to be called upon should Coach Turner need to go to the bullpen. It will be 8-9-1, 2 up for the Wildcats. Jabrian Adams, Cooper Hansen, and Michael Ewing. But this is where all the damage occurred in the last inning as the Wildcats batted around in a 5-run 6th inning to take a 6-2 lead.
I got Jacob right now at about 71 pitches, so I think that's one of the reasons I think coaches realize that he's not going to be able to come back Saturday now anyway. He's past that 60 pitch. He's not really throwing that bad.
No, no.
I mean, exit that 6th inning with just snake bit here and there.
Yep, ground ball just under the glove of Helm. A ground ball just past a diving Jackson Crowd, and an infield single to Tucker Platt. So here's a towering fly ball into shallow right center field. Meadows drifting back. Now Tucker Platt will come over all the way on the second base side. And a good job overruling that one by Tucker Platt. I think Mike had a hard time picking that up.
Yeah, he didn't have a good angle at all. You could tell if he was going to struggle to get that ball.
Yeah, you said it. He didn't have a good angle. It was directly over his head. Tucker was able to see it much quicker off the bat. Came a long way to make the catch. Good thing because it was too shallow for Jacob Cox to catch it out in center field. So that will bring to the plate Cooper Hansen. First pitch swinging, fouled back. And Hansen singled his last time up. He was thrown out at home plate on that 5-2-3 double play the Berries pulled. It looked like Logansport might get out of the inning without any further damage, but Kokomo with a 2-out rally to take this 6-2 lead. Here's the 0-1 pitch off the end of the bat towards second base. Meadows is charging. Throw to first in time to get Hansen. 2 up and 2 away for the Wildcats. To the top of the order, and Michael Ewing, who has a pair of singles and a pair of runs scored for the Wildcats. 2 for 3 on the day for Ewing.
Well, the only team we have not seen yet in the conference in our division has been Harrison. We'll get them next week. But I'd say Jeff McCutcheon, Kokomo. I'm kind of leaning towards giving the edge to Kokomo. You think?
Yeah.
Overall.
Here's a good breaking pitch for a called strike. 0-1.
At least the way they're playing right now.
Right. Yep. Yeah, they got some lively arms on that rotation for this Kokomo team.
Swing the bat's pretty decent.
Mm-hmm. I know Jacob Haley. I'm not sure what's going on. Asked for time. Would like to have a word with his catcher, Gavin Smith. No balls and 1 strike to Michael Ewing. He's batting with the bases empty, 2 outs here in the top half of the 7th inning. Kokomo on top of Logansport, 6-2. Kokomo with a run in the 4th and 5 in the 6th. Ewing tries to bunt his way on for a base hit, is foul. So he's in the hole, 0-2. Logansport with a pair of runs in the 5th inning. Those are the only 2 runs they have scored in this 2-game series with the Wildcats, as they were shut out last night at Municipal Stadium, 7-0. So the Berries in danger of losing their 4th consecutive game after starting the season 5-3. And we figured they'd have a tough go of it at Avon in that doubleheader Saturday. And the Orioles, certainly a quality ball club. Here's a foul off the end of the bat from Ewing toward the Kokomo dugout. And the Berries lost last night at Kokomo, and they're trailing here 6-2 here in the top half of the 7th inning.
Because we got the feeling down at Avon. We were in the ball game.
Oh, yeah.
We never punched out of it, but just couldn't get the timely stuff going for us that day.
Here's a ground ball right back to the mound. Goes off the glove of Jacob Cayley. Tough play from Tucker Platt. He throws on the run, not in time. As the ball was short hopped, Jackson Crowd not able to field it, but I think he would have been safe anyway. And Cayley mad at himself as he had a chance to make that play. But
yes, he did. He just got just over the outstretched arms, just missed his glove, and really made a tough play for either second baseman, Meadows, or shortstop Tucker Platt. But Tucker did what he could do with it, just couldn't get there in time.
So that will bring Peyton McLean up to the plate. McLean takes a look at a fastball just off the plate outside. 1 ball, no strikes. McLean bunted for a single his last time up. Had a perfectly executed sacrifice bunt back in the 4th. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Here's a pitch in the turf. Knocked down by Gavin Smith. 2 balls and no strikes. We can head to the Berries' 7th inning. Jackson Crowd, Gavin Smith, and Jacob Cayley, the 3 scheduled hitters, due up for Logansport in the last half of the 7th inning. Here's a pitch for a called strike at the knees to Peyton McLean. 2 balls and 1 strike. So like you mentioned, Jacob over that 60 pitch threshold, so he'll be unavailable Saturday in that doubleheader at Benton Central. Here's a pitch down and away. 3 balls and a strike. Our chief meteorologist, Chris Martin, says the rain that's going to be forecast the next couple of days will move out of the way. And so it'll be a sunny day Saturday at Benton Central. A little on the cool side, and you can add or subtract a couple degrees with that wind at Benton Central. Here's a pitch for a called strike in the inside corner as McLean was trying to
get him as they're running to first.
And I'm convinced the umpire will ring you up anytime you start heading toward that dugout or toward that first base. So the count is full. Ewing is off with the pitch. Here's a ground ball hit toward first. Jackson Crowd fields it to Jacob Cayley, who was late getting over there. And then say that he is out, and the Berries will take it, because I think that McLean beat him, but the Logansport will take it. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 man left. We go to the last half of the 7th. It is Kokomo 6, Logansport 2. There's more to come, live from Logansport.
Berries Baseball on WSAL is presented by Tyson Fresh Meats. With over 2,000 employees operating from their Logansport facility, processing pork and poultry to feed millions of people around the world. Buy the Tyson brand at your local grocery store. This game is also sponsored by Security Federal Savings Bank. With over 80 years of dedication to the Cass County community, Security Federal strives to provide a better kind of banking, like summer nights and fireflies. We go better together. Security Federal, member FDIC. Let's go back to the ballpark for Berries Baseball on WSAL Logansport.
Welcome back to Jim Turner Field. We have moved to the last half of the 7th inning. The Berries down to their final at-bat against relief pitcher Trey Heiser, and went down and talked to Kyle Dibble to try and look at the replay of that previous play. And
You know, the replay is just as obvious as it was to us in live action. We got a break on that.
Okay. But yep, Peyton McLean thought he walked on that previous pitch, so he thought he should have been on first, and then he was clearly safe on that one, but Logansport will take it. And so the Wildcats will have to be content with taking a 4-run lead into the last half of the 7th inning. Jackson Crowd will come to the batter's box. Crowd with a Texas League single his last time up after a sharp ground ball his first at bat, so he's 1 for 2 on the night. And looking at the on-deck circle, Gavin Smith, at least for the moment, will hit in the spot number 2. So it's Crowd, Smith, and Cayley, 7, 8, and 9 in this Logansport batting order as they look to mount a big rally off against the Kokomo Wildcats and relief pitcher Trey Heiser. 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for Kokomo. 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Berries. Heiser now from the stretch. Again, fastball for a called strike. So very unusual for Heiser to pitch from the full windup with the bases loaded in the previous inning.
I don't get that.
But then from the stretch all other times. So here's a fastball for a called strike, 0-2. Maybe that's
good pitch there.
Sure was. Outside corner, tailing away from the right-handed hitting Jackson Crowd. He's in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Kokomo on top 6-2 here in the last half of the 7th inning. Breaking pitch for a called strike 3 as that fell off the table right into the strike zone. That was a well-pitched at bat that time from Heiser. Out number 1 in the Logansport 7th inning. And that will bring Gavin Smith to the plate. Gavin, in his only plate appearance, flew out to left field back in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1. There's the pitch from Heiser. Fastball misses down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. All things considered, I think Gavin's done a pretty good job behind the plate.
Not too bad. A couple of got by. One, I think we real wild pitch, 1 pass ball, but they were both similar. They were little short hoppers.
Pitch misses outside. Ball and no strikes. Here's a pitch for a called strike. 2 balls and a strike. As Gavin was taken all the way, the Berries need base runners down 4 runs here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. 2-1 pitch on the way to Smith. Ground ball hit sharply but foul down the third base side. As we see a lot of short sleeves and shorts out here tonight on a gorgeous night of weather here in north central Indiana. Game time temperature was 74. I'm sure it's cool to a degree or 2, but still outstanding weather for this time of the year. 2-2 pitch on the way to Gavin Smith. Swung on and missed. Fastball on the inside corner. That was another well-pitched at bat for Heiser, who has struck out the first 2 Berries he has seen here in the 7th inning. And that will leave it up to Jacob Cayley.
Well, all he needs is a 4-run home run by himself here.
With the bases empty. Yeah.
Yep, with the bases empty. Okay.
Cayley struck out looking his first time up. Lined into double play his last time up. He's 0 for 2. Here's a pitch down low, 1-0. Heiser reached back for a little something extra on that one. And it got away from him, down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. As the clouds are rolling in, and according to the weatherman, rain is on the way.
Wouldn't call these rain clouds, but
No.
certainly kept that bright sun away.
Here's a fastball tailing away. 2 balls and no strikes. So like you mentioned in the pregame show, Steve, it all depends on the timing.
Timing, yeah.
Because the rain is coming. It's just a matter of when. If we can get this game in tomorrow night at Turner Field. Peru Tigers scheduled to come to town for a 5 p.m. first pitch. In a game originally scheduled for Friday night. Moved up a night to Thursday the 18th. Here's a fastball, misses up high. 3 balls and no strikes. Will Bennett in the on-deck circle. He would love to get 1 more at bat here tonight for the Berries. Here's a 3-0 pitch. Cayley taken all the way. Strike on the outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike. Heiser pitching from the stretch. Pitch on the way. Ground ball hit toward third, foul. And did you know that today would have been the 199th birthday for Alexander Cartwright, who by many is the founder of modern baseball. Was born on this day in 1820. So
wow,
he would be 199 years old if he were still with us. There's a pitch filed back to the screen.
So would I have had to listen to your sports show this morning to know that fact ahead of?
No, I didn't realize that.
Oh, you didn't know that? Okay.
Until I got to work today, and
that's something
one of the teachers, he likes to listen to sports trivia every morning. He gives me a sports trivia fact of the day, and he said today would be Alexander Cartwright's
1820.
1820 he was born. So they said.
Oh, that's when he was born. Okay, yeah.
So around 1853 or so, they say that's when Alexander Cartwright and some friends invented the modern game of baseball. So depends on who you talk to about Abner Doubleday and Alexander Cartwright who invented it. But
well, I know I've read here a couple weeks ago the first bats that were used in the major leagues at early stages were actually cricket bats.
Okay. There's a pitch swung on and missed, and Heiser strikes out the side, and he ends this game in fine fashion for the Wildcats. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for Logansport. Our final score, Kokomo 6, Logansport 2. We'll step aside for a break. When we return, we'll wrap things up live from Logansport.